Hey guys, Rabaconda is a machine that makes it easy for the average motorcyclist to change a tire at home by yourself. And that's awesome because I have a motorcycle business. I was even able to sign up as a Rabaconda dealer so that I could not only get mine for cheaper, but also make money by selling them to you, my audience. So perfect, right? So I had this thing for, I think, 2 years now, but I've never really tried to sell a single one. What gives? Let's talk about what I love about my Rabaconda, what I hate about it, and why I probably won't try and sell you one. If you've never changed a motorcycle tire yourself, you can learn to do it pretty easily with the Rabaconda by following their instructions in the booklet or by watching one of their videos. It is that good, okay? It is, with one exception, but we'll talk about later. But this thing, you can change a tire without too much effort, as advertised. Now, full disclosure, the hardest part of the whole tire change will be getting your wheel on and off of your motorcycle. So if you're already set up to do this yourself, you know how to do it, you won't find this system hard to use at all. But first timers or people who don't have the right equipment to easily get their wheel on and off their motorcycle, you might struggle with that part. When the Rabaconda comes in is after you've already got the wheel off of your motorcycle. First, you break the bead a couple times on one side, flip it over, do the same thing on the other side, spin it around, easy peasy. Before long, you secure the rim, put lots of lube, put a tire spoon in just the right spot. It tells you exactly where to put everything. You ratchet around, and off comes your wheel from the one side. There we go. So now we're gonna grab our tire iron again, slip it under the second bead. Installation is a little bit tricky at first, but as always, lube is your friend and goes a long way. You'll line things up, you'll use a tire iron that it comes with the Rabaconda. I also like to use 2 rim clamps. It makes the job a lot easier. Nice. Next, you'll need a motorcycle wheel balancer just to balance out your wheel. It's by Black Widow Pro. I got it from discountramps.com. That is the same company, the same place I got my table lift from. My motorcycle table lift gets abused. It's been 6 years old now. Thing still looks brand new. Not sponsored, just saying I like getting my stuff from them. Their stuff lasts. And then once it's balanced, you just reinstall the wheel and you're done. The thing is that there are 2 big issues with the Rabaconda. So let's talk about them. So my original plan as a YouTuber and as a Rabaconda dealer who changes a few motorcycle tires is that every time I use the Rabaconda, I would just film it, make a video, post the video, and then link to where people could buy it. So if people were like, hey, well, that idiot can do it and makes it look easy, I can do it myself too, and then they'd buy it. And then every time I would do a tire change on a different bike, I'd make another video. But I haven't really even bothered trying to sell a single Rabaconda because there are these 2 issues about it that drive me nuts. First issue, if you have multiple motorcycles and maybe one or some of them are tubeless and one or some of them are tubed tire motorcycles, one system is not going to work for you. Rabaconda has one model called the Street Bike Tire Changer, which is great for tubeless tires, which is going to be what most of us need. They have a second model called the Dirt Bike Tire Changer, which is great for tubed tires, but the 2 don't really cross over well. In my experience, if you think you're going to change a tubed tire using the Rabaconda Street Bike Tire Changer, good freaking luck. They have a video showing you that it is possible, but if you look closely at the tire that they're installing, it's super malleable. It seems like it's a tire that they've installed and uninstalled a lot, so the sidewall is like super soft. For me, it was a big, huge fail. I wasted a ton of time. I ended up just getting so frustrated that I brought it to the shop and just had them do the tire change, and they said, buddy, your struggle, you put no less than 3 different holes in the tube that you were trying to replace. It was bad. The second issue that I have is the Rabaconda price has gone up substantially. And I'm not saying that they're bad for doing this because I'm sure their costs have gone up. I know they also include a couple things that I had to pay extra for, so is a little bit more value in there. When I got mine, I saw a lot of value in Rabaconda because I could pay for it and I knew exactly how long it would take to pay for itself. And the number seemed it was like less than a dozen tire changes. It would pay for itself. That seemed really reasonable to me since I changed like a handful of tires every season. Nice. And with the Rabaconda, you don't just save the money, but you also save the time of not having to drive to and from a shop, of not having to wait around when you get there for it to be your turn, of not having to fit your schedule to when the shop is open. Like now, if it's a rainy day and I don't want to go anywhere on a Saturday, I can stay home. If it's midnight, I can't sleep, I can change a tire and stay home. I don't need to go out and work around someone else's schedule. There just seemed to be a lot of value there. I could change tires for friends, family, whatever. It made sense. But now the price has gone up like hundreds more, to the point where you could easily get a used tire machine that'll do tube tires, tubeless tires, and even car tires for the same price as a new Rabaconda. Now you're talking about a machine that can do it all. It's hard to justify the Rabaconda as much. So does that mean the Rabaconda has now become a product with no market? No. If you're a track guy, this absolutely makes sense to you. You're going to be going through multiple tires every weekend. This totally makes sense. This packs away, it folds up, you can put it in like a duffel bag, throw it in the trunk. It's great. It does make the work easy. If for whatever reason you're somebody who you just change a lot of tires, this will absolutely make sense. But do I like it enough to want to sell it to people and profit by selling it to people and maybe coming across as a shill for them? Not really. Like, if I'm gonna be pushing something for you guys, like, it's gotta be something I really think is gonna appeal to the masses and be really good for you guys. I don't just want to push something for the sake of pushing it. So what do I think you should do instead? I think you should inform yourselves. I have a video called 7 Ways to Tell If Your Motorcycle Tires Need to Be Replaced. You should check it out. A lot of riders don't know all 7 signs. Give it a look. It could make or break your ride. It could, potentially save a life. Yeah, I'm Adrian from eMotorcycle. I make videos that help motorcyclists. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you're into that kind of jam. And yeah, ride safe, but have fun. Peace.